it's not running yet. I don't know why it's not running.
What's running?
The stream.
Okay.
It's not running.
Again? That's
well,
weird.
after I turn on asking it to record, it doesn't work already. Okay, it's running. Okay. Well, I guess it's just a simple recording. I don't need to do introduction. It's just you and me.
I suppose so. You still need an intro sequence for it. But I mean, this isn't officially the start yet lah. We'll start when we officially start lah.
We start when we officially start.
Well, I'll join your lobby first basically.
I'll make the lobby. Password is 1234.
Alright. Wait, what's the name of the room?
My player name. Tori.
Okay, it's not appearing yet. There we go. Okay, there we go. So
we can run. I'll just post the stream on the group.
yep, okay lah. We can start. No, actually, I don't even know if anybody is still awake to watch this lah. But
Yeah, just let them do.
I guess we can also record it as a test lah, so that if we actually want to do a podcast permanently,
Yeah,
for,
it will work as
in
a
regards to
video.
gaming news. Yeah.
What should I type?
Sorry?
Okay, I posted.
Alright.
Do you want 3 events? I think 2 events is enough.
2 events? Yeah, more or less. Up to you lah.
Yeah, okay. You just start.
So, have we officially started the stream?
Yes, it's already running for the whole time already. Ever since I said we joined the room.
Okay. So, E3 2015, possibly the best E3 in years?
I don't know, I guess since 2013. 2013 was quite okay for me.
Last year was terrible.
Yeah, last year was terrible.
Last year was terrible, and there was actually a few years that a few years that it was just absolute shit. Impossible to actually do anything in the first place. It doesn't make sense whatsoever, basically. All they did was just... was it last year when they had the PS4 price debacle?
PS4. I don't think I remember.
Yeah, because I remember there was a time when the Sony president announced the price of the... Oh no, that was the PS3. No, I confused that with when I was watching the highlights of E3 over the years. That was stupid of me. But no, last year, no, I remember. Last year it was Microsoft advertising the PS4. That was the reason why everybody was slamming Microsoft last year.
Okay.
It was just publicity for Sony lah, to be honest, because Sony has this nasty habit of how to say rubbing in the face of all their other competitors.
Yeah. They tend to do that.
But yeah, but that's what lah. That's oh god, I'm a clone. But that's what lah. So let's start with the bottom of the rung, the absolute shit, the absolute crappiest of the entire convention.
You mean Square?
That would, yeah. Honestly, I do not know what the hell Square was thinking when they ran their conference. I mean, okay, let's start from the beginning. Let's start from the beginning. The first thing they showed was Just Cause 2. Now that was exciting. Because I love Just Cause 2.
Okay.
Just Cause 3 was going to be set in Spain, and the level of destruction so far when I see the game seems to be pretty good actually. The whole grappling hook thing, apparently they said they had some changes, like people can do some extra things with it or something. Not exactly sure what they mean by that, but it's something.
Don't mind me not talking so much because I don't really know much about E3.
You didn't watch Square's? What is it?
I didn't watch any of the conference. I just read text stuff.
This is a very weird podcast. If you're talking about something you never watched in the first place.
Well, we lack the people to talk about.
I know, yeah. But anyway, let's not devolve into name calling for now. After that, what did they show? They started talking about Final Fantasy, I believe.
Oh, really? Oh, you mean...
No. They were talking about Hitman or some of the games that Square was publishing.
Oh.
Yeah, that... They didn't really give much information when it came to the... Oh god. Well, they didn't give much information in regards to the Hitman series.
As in giving another game to the series or what?
No, Hitman was going to get a new game. But the problem is that in Square's conference, all they talked about was they were just talking about how they were going to stick true to Hitman's brand and what they were supposed to represent, all that nonsense.
Okay.
But they didn't really show anything. They didn't show gameplay. They didn't show what kind of news they wanted to set up for Hitman. They didn't tell us anything about the game at all, basically.
Then what's the point?
That's the thing. They just wanted people to. They thought people would just be excited that there's gonna be another Hitman game,
But there's nothing. There's no information. What are we gonna be hyped about?
That's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
But apparently, no one gave Square that information, Then next was Hashimoto being an absolute troll. If you remember, he basically didn't. He wouldn't actually say whether he was. He deliberately. How to say? I'm just stumbling over my own words. But basically, rather than just straight up telling players that we were gonna make Kingdom Hearts 3 or Final Fantasy 7 or the information regarding Final Fantasy 7's remake, he was just showing he was showing this mobile game for Kingdom Hearts, and that was really a huge dick move, to be honest.
Yeah, well, it's a common thing already nowadays.
I don't really approve of that, lah, to be honest, because if Hashimoto's gonna keep doing that, it's gonna. I know it's hip to be making fun of people, making fun of your own fans or whatever, but no, that's just tasteless. And right before the Kingdom 3, and then he announced the Kingdom 3 trailer, and then they were just talking about how Tangled was going to be in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Tangled?
Tangled, the 3D cartoon. Yeah. I can tell you no one was amused. Everyone like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah, one thing, it's not an iconic series from Disney. Not as iconic
no, actually,
as
it is.
It is, but compared to most others, it's not really that iconic.
Yeah. I mean, even putting Frozen would be a lot more iconic.
Ah, yes.
But then again,
you get a lot of fan works of that.
Yeah. Then after he was done trolling everybody, like thinking, oh, okay, I guess I have my fun, then he led into Kingdom Hearts 3 gameplay. Didn't really show much, but it looked pretty cool from the trailer. And it looked rather open world. I can't remember. I haven't played Kingdom Hearts 2 in a long while already, actually, so I really need to start playing that game again. But it's something for the Kingdom Hearts fans to look forward to, lah.
So do you look forward to it?
Considering that I don't have a PS4, no, not really.
What if a port happens?
Even if a port happens, I'm just not that big of a Kingdom Hearts fan. But I do respect the idea. I used to think it was cool when it came out first.
Yeah.
And come on, I love Super Robot Wars, so crossovers are kind of like a favorite thing of mine. That being said, I still remember our interview with Hashimoto in CF.
Okay.
Remember when I asked him whether he was going to put Darth Vader inside?
No, I wasn't involved. You don't forget I was roaming around when you were doing the interview.
Yeah, I know. That's why. When Hashimoto was doing the interview, I was actually asking him. Now that Disney has assimilated Marvel and what do you call it? Marvel and LucasArts. I asked him if he was gonna put Wolverine or any of the Marvel characters into a Kingdom Hearts game. But sadly, he said no, or rather, no news, no plans to do so yet.
But since it's already announced for Kingdom Hearts 3, you never know.
Yeah. Okay, after Kingdom Hearts 3, then they showed something interesting. I didn't think that they were gonna continue it, but they announced Star Ocean 4.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those weird games that there's a lot of people I know who loved Star Ocean, but I never got the chance to try it out. So I'm probably missing out on a lot of things.
Yeah, you're missing out quite a bit.
Yeah. And the rest just happened to be them talking, and that's it. That was all that happened.
But it's a bit of a turn off like that.
It was a bit of a turn off because everybody was reminded this is why Square doesn't do conferences. I really need to stop trusting my evasion. But anyway,
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was Square happened. A lot of people didn't really like how Square did their To be honest lah, I think them giving Sony the reveal for FF7 was the one that hurt them the most. Because if Square kept quiet about FF7, or rather they didn't let Sony make the big announcement, then they could have. It didn't matter what they were talking about and how they did their conference. All they had to do was just end their conference with FF7, and then they just drop the mic, and that will be it. That everybody will be all going, Square Enix best conference ever.
But no.
Seriously, because people tend to be dumb that way. But
as in the general audience or the conference?
The general audience now, basically.
Okay.
Then again, the conferences. But yeah, that was a thing. Then they moved to EA. EA was also another bloody weird case lah. Because they had something very, very huge that every single fan wanted to listen to. Everyone wanted to know about it. Which was everyone knew EA had Battlefront to talk about. Yeah, that was like the only thing that they wanted to talk about. Everybody wanted to hear about. Then they like, okay, we know you're gonna talk. You know what? You want to hear about Battlefront, so
let's hear about it.
Let's give you a whole bunch of other stuff that you don't care about. So they started talking about sports games, and I'm not gonna blame them lah. That is kind of like what they have to do at all the time. Then they had a few interesting new things to show. The Division was really nothing interesting to show.
The Division kind of toned down, if I have to say.
The Division really is nothing to show lah. Because
is it any much difference compared to 2013?
It was just graphic. It just looked like graphic. It just looked like graphic changes and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, after 2 years, the hype is gone. I have to say.
Yeah. Then they had an interesting new IP called Unravel. That one looked interesting, to be honest.
What's it about?
It's you remember Little Big Planet?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then and Little Big Planet had talked about a lot of the how do you call it? They talked about Little Big Planet had the yarn thing. Unravel is basically about this creature which is made of yarn, and everywhere he goes, he would just drop a line that the player can track back whenever they get lost. Yeah, that was what Unravel was. Then they showcased Rainbow Six Siege. Yeah, they showcased the new Rainbow Six Siege. That was also very interesting. Cause they announced back. Wait, no, I'm getting my factions wrong. God damn it. Rainbow Six was Ubisoft. Sorry, I made a mistake there.
What else did EA do?
I'm not sure if Forza Motorsports was under them. But that one is for people who like... Oh, Need for Speed. They also had Need for Speed to show.
What else?
What Need for Speed they showed... No, here's the thing. Need for Speed they showed gameplay. So, that was something interesting. I mean, I like conferences which show gameplay because that shows they have something to show. They have a game to show, yeah. So...
Right, I guess even if they show, it's pretty much same, right? Kind of stuff.
Yeah. Then they brought. Oh yeah, then there was the Plants vs Zombies thing. Oh, that was weird.
No, you got the Warfare.
Yeah, it was Garden Warfare 2. Some guy ran out in the Super Zombie costume, and he was like expecting. I think he was expecting like applause or stuff like that lah. But it turns out the entire audience just stared. Like they didn't know if it was actually happening right in front of them or not. So
yeah,
that happened lah.
Conference these days is just it's lies.
Lies is one thing lah, but it's also our own fault like if we don't actively pursue what they wanted to show lah.
True.
Well, then EA showed. Okay, then after all trudging, all that bullshit, finally they showed Battlefront, and everyone was super excited about Battlefront. Let me tell you, that was like the only reason why they wanted to play that game.
Or is like the only reason why they want to watch EA's conference?
Yeah, because they showcased the multiplayer version of the game, the multiplayer mode.
Yeah.
And it was cool. It was really, really cool because it looked like there was a lot of depth going on. So there's a chance lah that it might be the result of how do you call it? Yeah. So it looked kind of like Titanfall, the way they approached the game, because a lot of infantry was getting shut down. So I don't think those were player lah, because if those were players, then either the players suck really bad or someone is playing the game very, very wrong.
So it was an actual gameplay.
It looked like gameplay lah. I like to think it was gameplay lah, but it was very obvious that they already made the video beforehand and they just cut from different players' view from view to view. Yeah. So that was something they showed lah. Then I can't talk much about Nintendo's panel. Nintendo was the next one because they didn't really show much this year. When I was reading through all of the breakdowns regarding Nintendo's panel, actually the person to talk about Nintendo should be here lah, but unfortunately he's not here with us today. So
yeah, well, we are all working people.
I don't know what happened, but okay, fuck that. So the problem with Nintendo is that almost everything they announce has already been exposed, all due to Nintendo Direct. And to be honest, Nintendo doesn't really need to do a conference. I think they just did it out of the tradition, because they were still riding on the whole Splatoon hype. I mean, you've seen Splatoon all over Twitter nowadays.
Yes.
They did show a new gameplay trailer for what do you call it? They showed a new gameplay trailer for Star Fox, the new Star Fox game.
Okay.
So at least people know that one was still in development. That was still pretty good. The biggest disappointment happened to be Metroid Galactic Federation. No one actually knew how to expect that game because it was just so weird.
Well, I don't know. Fight game with Wii U, how does it even... I guess should be okay, but I don't know.
There was what lah? There was
Why is in this generation, in this time, why Star Fox?
Why not? Star Fox? The thing about Star Fox is that it's one of those brands that a lot of people who played Nintendo, they kind of grew up with it. So I don't blame them for wanting a new Star Fox game. Actually, to be honest, like, people have been clamoring for a Star Fox game that wasn't Star Fox Adventures, because oh my god, that was a mess. Then the Metroid Federation Force, that was weird because they were trying to do another Zelda four-player co-op kind of game.
Yeah.
But people play Metroid because they want to play Samus Aran. They don't want to play anybody else. So that was the big disappointment now. Oh my god, why?
Nope.
Then they announced the new Zelda games, but didn't show much gameplay about it. Cause like, we have Zelda, that's it. We're gonna continue making Zelda, cause it's Zelda.
It's our money-making machine.
You can't blame them, to be honest. It's still
Yeah, it's a fair series.
Yeah. I don't think it's ever gonna go away lah, and they're still gonna continue making the game because it's a good game. I don't see why they should stop making it though.
Until they run out of story to tell.
I don't exactly remember much of the rest of Nintendo stuff really. That was it. There really wasn't much else to show for Nintendo.
Kind of mediocre, I'll say.
It was very mediocre actually. But I still blame that on all their, the information portals lah, the one where they can. So a lot of people there was no punch. Nintendo was still fun, but there was no huge reveal, which we'll get to later.
Yeah.
If they had a huge reveal, like maybe if they were working on another Advance Wars, now that was an example. That would be a good example of of a game that would totally rock people's minds. Then let's move on to the next conference.
Yeah.
We have Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Ubisoft was
This I read. I went through was this Ghost Recon? To be honest, it already pretty much lost things that, oh wow, lucky of you. As the series expand, I kind of find lots of things missing compared to when the time I played the old Ghost Recon, like the really old ones back in 2004.
Actually, let's start from the beginning first. Let's start from the beginning of the Ubisoft conference. What was the first thing they announced that actually caught people's attention?
I didn't watch the conference. I went through bits and bits of it.
Hold on. Let me just check the. Let me just check the what.
But I was really looking forward to watch Ghost Recon's video.
They showed an old IP first. They showed an old IP. I can't remember what it was. Then they moved into they moved into a new IP. This one I'm actually excited for. It was called For Honor.
Yeah.
It in the beginning it's about Vikings and samurai and crusaders fighting one another. But it wasn't. But they actually showed the gameplay trailer and it looked very interesting because it looked like a very slow-paced Dynasty Warriors, which had the weight of a Dark Souls style game.
Okay.
So then they announced Anno 2205. I don't know how much more in the future they want to get with that game. So then they also showed Trackmania. I don't know if you're familiar with Trackmania game, the series of Trackmania or not.
Not really.
Trackmania is this like really weird racing game. The reason why the game was weird is because of the whole you can build your own tracks, and it is not realistic whatsoever. The game is really not realistic. Then they had to talk about Just Dance 2016 because it's like EA with sports games. It's one of their best-selling titles, and they just have to talk about it. Otherwise, the casual market is going to yell at them.
Okay.
Then they announced a new South Park game. That was weird. The South Park game was someone said that they weren't actually going to make the South Park game anymore. So them suddenly announcing that they were going to make a new South Park game was a bit of a surprise to a lot of people.
Yeah. When I went through all the highlights, it's like South Park appeared in the list. South Park.
And then you're talking about Ghost Recon Wildlands, right?
Yeah. Actually,
The one.
what was? Never mind. Because the whole open world thing just make it different from the usual Ghost Recon I always play back in the day.
Yeah. Assassin's Creed, no gameplay. Actually, I think they had gameplay information, but not much to it lah.
No, I'm not expecting much from it anymore.
Yeah.
Ever since Assassin's Creed 5, I kind of lost faith in the series. Really.
So that's Ubisoft lah. Ubisoft had a lot of interesting news, really. But there was a few missteps lah. Like I remember the host tried to make a meme or something like that halfway through, and people like, no, that's not how you make memes. That was very painful for the audience to watch, especially if they were like internet audience kind of people. That was painful. That was painful for them to watch lah.
I guess we can move on to the bigger guys.
Yeah, we can move on to the next series. Holy shit, my aircon isn't really that cold. Okay, the AI one. That's a good way to show how good we are at playing RNG. Okay, let's go. Let's talk about after Ubisoft. After Ubisoft was which one? Sony. Now, Sony can be a bit of an asshole with the way they did their entire conference. But considering the amount of titles that they announced, it's hard to fault them. They're just really good. So let's start with what they announced first in Sony. The first thing they showed was The Last Guardian.
Yeah, there's so much hype around Last Guardian. What is actually?
No, you see, The Last Guardian was a game that was originally supposed to be made to showcase the PS3's technical capability.
Okay.
But the problem is, it kept getting delayed to the point now that PS3 was already commonplace, and they still haven't released The Last Guardian. So Sony basically like went completely quiet, and every E3 people were yelling at Sony to like, come on, show us The Last Guardian, you promised us Last Guardian, where's The Last Guardian? Then 4 years back I think Sony just announced, I don't know if it was 4 years back or 2 years back, Sony just announced they were temporarily suspending all development on The Last Guardian. So a lot of the Team Ico fans were very disappointed because it's Ico and it's Shadow of the Colossus, some of the most famous games on the PlayStation platform.
Okay.
And what's more amazing is that they didn't show a pre-CG render like the last time. They showed what looked like gameplay for The Last Guardian. So the idea that you just travel around this really open and abandoned location with just a huge dog-like creature that will help you through puzzles. That was impressive. That was actually very impressive. I was very, very impressed with the way the trailer was made. Was shown to the people. Straight after that, they went into the next IP, the new IP from Guerrilla Games. Now, if anybody doesn't remember, Guerrilla Games was the creators of Killzone, and they are kind of like the first-party developers for Sony. So, no matter what games they're gonna announce, unfortunately, it's going to be a PlayStation exclusive because it's kind of like Sony's own game production house already. So, Horizon Unto Dawn showed us. In the beginning, it showed us a bunch of cavemen, and I honestly didn't know what to expect. Cause oh look, another caveman game. Oh, this is not gonna be another Rust-style game, is it? Then they reveal that it's actually a world where humans seem to have like abandoned modern lifestyle. No more buildings, no more living in cafe hipsters and all the nonsense. Cities are completely abandoned, and people have just reverted back to hunter-gathering tribes. The only difference is that the only real nature is plants. Animals are all robots now. I don't know how people can eat robot meat, but so that was a Horizon Unto Dawn. It showed the gameplay was also looks pretty interesting. It looked like a third-person shooter, and the players were just hunting these robot dinosaurs that was roaming around the grasslands. So that was one way to actually show to the players how the gameplay went. The player just basically hunted a bunch of these. They showed a stealth mechanic, and then showed a stealth takedown mechanic, and they also showed what happens if you got discovered because there was this huge ass dinosaur that attacked you. One of the interesting things was also the harpoon gun, where the player can shoot a harpoon, and if they immediately shoot at the ground, they can basically keep the cable attached from the beast to the ground. That way they can trap it down. They can hold it down like the Monster Hunter trap.
Oh.
So, and then it also showed that if you use the bow on certain weak points, the enemy can get stunned, or you can take it down easier. In any case, that was pretty cool. That was a very, very interesting new IP being developed.
Yeah. How about we just run another game first?
Then you went to No Man's Sky.
CK, hold on. Ready up.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't realize. Anyway, then you had No Man's Sky. I'm not sure if you know about No Man's Sky, but basically No Man's Sky was a game where the creator said you could do anything. Everything was procedurally generated, and it was how to say it? In the creator's words when he gave the conference, apparently impossible to achieve to actually visit all the planets in the game. That's a very huge boast, I just want to say. Like, you have no idea how big of a risk you're actually taking when you say something like that.
Yeah.
So, but it showed. He said basically you can, and then they show that each world the monsters were also procedurally generated. So you can see different wildlife on different planets, and you can see how they interact with the wildlife. So that was Unto Sky. And then you have then after No Man's Sky, they jumped into... I can't remember what they jumped into, unfortunately. I think it was Assassin's Creed. They showcased the female player.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I say I don't have much to say about Assassin's Creed anymore.
We should probably do another stream again with the others around, because they probably have more information.
Yeah.
I have loose gaps in my memory because I can't really remember a lot of the things. But yeah, that's... Sony also talked a bit about their multimedia because they want to compete with TV stations, I guess, because they provided something like Netflix and Spotify.
Yeah.
And you can't blame them, I mean, if that's what the entire PS3 can do, so they want to take advantage of it, I suppose.
Is it all for Sony?
No, Sony had a lot more things to show actually. I'm just trying to remember exactly what they had to show. Oh, one of the biggest things that was that they announced that Call of Duty Black Ops 3, they were going to have the exclusive DLC first. That means if anyone bought the Call of Duty Black Ops games, okay, I'm screwed. So, if anybody bought a PS3 and they bought the PS4, sorry, they bought the PS4 and they bought Call of Duty Black Ops 3, they would have access to the exclusive content. Now, this is actually considered to be a big thing for a lot of the Sony fanboys, because it's always been Microsoft who has the
privileges.
The day one DLC maps lah. And in fact, a lot of people have already associated Call of Duty with Xbox, because you can't have Microsoft without Call of Duty, Halo, and Gears of War, I believe.
Yeah, Gears of War.
That's like their three trademark games. So suddenly losing that and giving it to the Sony team is completely out of the blue, and no one expected it lah.
You seriously going for it?
Yeah.
Anything much to say?
Yeah, I don't have anything else to say regarding that lah. Oh yeah, they also had Uncharted. The Uncharted one was funny because of the fact that when they were showing the demo and they had technical difficulties because the controller was not connected to the was either not connected to the PS4 or had difficulty had like control issues, so the game couldn't receive it. In a way, it can be a good thing, and at the same time, it can be a bad thing, lah. Depending on how you want to look at it, lah.
This things tends to happen like every time. Year,
the fact is not when that happened, it just shows that it's an actual game. It's not pre-made gameplay. It's not whatever. It's not like just another trailer or whatever. It was an actual game.
Yeah.
So that was a big deal for Sony lah, because in a world where everybody was so super jaded, suddenly getting the game, congratulations, huh? Then that was for Sony lah. Oh, I think we missed Microsoft. Yeah, we completely missed Microsoft.
When we actually
okay,
mentioned about Microsoft, right?
Yeah, we did. We forgot to mention about Microsoft. So let me just bring up the notes I have, because I need to write up notes in the future when I do podcasts like this, because I can't remember everything off the top of my head, and that's bad. This makes us look so unprofessional.
But I am unprepared for this also.
Okay, let me access my notes. Oh wait, shit, there's not. What the hell is that?
Yeah, let's just enjoy the rest of the game while CK continues to find his notes.
Yes, because I am shitty that way. Okay. So, okay, Xbox One. They started off with Halo 5, I believe. Yeah, they started off with Halo 5 Guardians. So that's a very strong start, because they were showcasing one of their strongest IPs in the game. Then they went into a new IP called ReCore. ReCore, they didn't show any gameplay, but I like the concept. It's basically this exploration game where you have a blue core, and there are a lot of wreckage. There's a lot of wreckage in the entire world. If your core loses the original form, like there was a dog form, and then there's a gigantic robot form, and there were some enemy spider forms. When you defeated them, then you could basically, if there was an empty body, you can replace the core.
Nope.
So then after they announced backwards compatibility. That one was weird. They announced it like they were so proud of it, like it's a completely new thing for them. But it's Sony did it, Nintendo does it all the time. Then suddenly you said that you can play Xbox 360 games on the Xbox One. That just means you don't have faith in your new IP already, you know.
Damn it. I want to attack.
Yeah. Then
I forgot.
then they announced a new Xbox One controller.
I have a attack 1 damage card. I forgot to use it.
Oh. So yeah, they had a new Xbox controller. They had a new Xbox controller to announce. Then they announced Fallout 4. They just showed a trailer for it lah. But Bethesda, unlike Square Enix, decided to wisely hold on to a lot of the stuff to showcase before spoiling too much about Fallout 4. Then Xbox went into Xbox Live. What's the name of it called? Access. EA Access. Basically, they were saying that if they subscribe to EA Access on the Xbox One, they will be able to get play any of EA's games for $5 per month. Interesting if you're one of those players who don't play games religiously.
Yeah.
But a bit of a bad deal for people who do lah. So, my God.
That's a lot.
Then they went into Forza Motorsports. Oh no, they went into Plants vs Zombies 2, Garden Warfare 2 first. That was weird.
How weird?
And then they go, sorry?
How weird?
Because they showed the zombies were playable now apparently.
Okay, so now it's 2 sides.
Sorry?
So it's now full-scale multiplayer.
Yeah, apparently so. I don't know why this guy is so fucking.
But how does it mean you will become a special zombie?
Yeah, you will represent some of the special zombies.
So it's pretty much Left 4 Dead all over again.
Yeah, but then there's also still the classic survival mode lah, where you play as players versus all the zombies. Then they announced Forza Motorsports. They even brought a fucking car into the entire convention.
Yeah, I saw that
Which
picture.
is basically a massive Ford advertisement. Then they went into gameplay video for in-game pictures of the Division. So, like you said earlier, the Division is, the quality just constantly shifts lower and lower.
And it's still not done.
Yeah. You think they probably got damn sian of everything already. They're already damn sick of everything and they just try to show something already nowadays. And then they went into a whole host of indie games that's coming out for the Xbox One.
Okay.
The only one so far, the only Xbox One indie game that I really want to play, and thankfully it's coming to the PC, is Cuphead. Cuphead it's basically what happens when you have a 1930 cartoon.
Okay.
And hold on, shit.
You just have to do that.
So it's a 1930s cartoon, but it lets you. But the gameplay is like Metal Slug. Yeah, I'll let you think about how that goes, lah. It looks like you're playing a very early Disney's cartoon, lah. That's for sure.
Yeah, you won't want to know what kind of face I'm making right now.
Some of the other Xbox indie games there was a game called the one where the girl was blind, and what the player has to do is he has to just walk safely in order to reach the area. That one was very pretty lah. I have to say it's one of those games that looks very pretty. Then the guy who developed Daisy, Dean Hall, was announcing another new IP.
Okay.
It had no gameplay. It had no in-game engine or whatever. It didn't make any sense.
Yeah,
I think it's just another video just to show that, oh look, here's a game I'm gonna be making, but they didn't show what the game was basically. Then Tomb Raider was yet another video to just showcase the capabilities of. Then they announced the Rare collection. That one was sad lah, because everybody's all going. Everyone wants to see another Banjo-Kazooie or something like that. But it's not gonna happen, unfortunately, because Microsoft has already kind of like destroyed the entire Rare company, Rare Studio. Not much you can do about that now. Then that seems to be all for Microsoft. Oh yeah, then there was they were trying to showcase HoloLens, which, if you remember, it was this new VR headset for both PC and Xbox, apparently, depending on what they wanted to do. So what happened was that they showed the HoloLens being used by someone playing Minecraft, and they could basically create a 3D world for the player to look at. I'm less impressed by HoloLens for playing Minecraft, and more impressed of the potential to play holographic RTS with the HoloLens. Because I tell you, that's gonna be amazing, you know.
Yes, it is.
Then they announced Gears of War. They were going to, for some stupid reason, they're going to make a Gears of War 1 HD. Gears of War 1 was made for the Xbox 360, and it looked really, really pretty in the first place. I don't know why they needed to make another game, another remake of Gears of War 1. Then they also announced Gears of War 4. That was interesting. It looked less of a Gears of War game and more like a horror game. Wow, if you die here, I'm gonna laugh so hard. Wait.
I don't have a choice,
anyway.
right? And plus, I should laugh at you. You got hit by RNG.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Yeah lah.
But yeah, it kind of kills the fan base really. Yeah.
For which one?
For Gears of War.
Yeah lah. But no, the thing is, they still have Gears of War 4 to look forward to, so that's something. That's honestly something. Then that ended Microsoft's conference lah. So the second best would be I think second best would be Bethesda. You had Bethesda with what the first IP they announced? They didn't really have a lot of stuff to showcase. Oh yes, the first thing they showed was Doom. Now that looked interesting because you know I love the Doom games. The new Doom looked really, really good. It had everything that was supposed to represent Doom. They had everything that was supposed to represent Doom, and it's still the new mechanics of basically being able to fatality an enemy. That was also very interesting. And the enemy can also cause fatalities on you as well. So That should prove interesting to see. What other things did they announce? I cannot remember for the life of me. I guess they just went straight into Fallout, I suppose, because that's honestly what everybody was expecting from Bethesda. Oh yes, there's also Dishonored 2, but they didn't really show anything about Dishonored 2, so no context about the game, and whether it's going to be the same game, it's going to be the same game as Dishonored 1, but with more pretty lights to check, I suppose. But there was that lah. That happened.
I guess. What else did Bethesda throw out? Well, I guess Dishonored.